I'm all set for my flight to Cancun. The boarding is at 8 o'clock. We've been just told that the flight is full and they are asking for volunteers to check in their carry-on bags. And they just told us that if they don't have enough volunteers, they might just check in some additional bags from people that could potentially lead to flight delays. Well, I just have one carry-on, so I'm not checking that in. I'm really excited about this trip. This is my first time traveling to Mexico by myself. I've heard some mixed reviews, but I think it's gonna be an amazing trip. So I'm really looking forward to it. Alright guys, I've finally made it to Cancun after a 5-hour long flight and 2 hours of immigration process. It is 8 o'clock right now. The flight wasn't bad, the flight was okay, but the food in the flight was absolutely no. So while everything is fresh in my mind, I have decided to make a quick video on 10 do's and don'ts of Cancun travel based on my day one experience here in Cancun. Do book your flight at least 4 months in advance. I paid around 450 Canadian dollars for my round trip, whereas the people beside me, they ended up paying about $1,100 each for the same flight, but the booking was done a month later. Point number 2. Do consider traveling just with your carry-on bag if at all possible. I was able to do my online check-in and then print my boarding pass ahead of time, and the entire process, including the security check, took me barely 10 minutes. And if you land in Cancun with just a carry-on bag, you also do not have to wait for your checked baggage, which might in turn speed up your immigration process. So give that a thought. Point number 3. Do consider exchanging your foreign currency back home because the exchange rate at Cancun airport weren't great. So the rule of thumb is convert at least 30% of your spending money into Mexican pesos, and the rest can be carried in the form of USD or Canadian dollars. Also, if at all possible, carry some $1 US bill for tipping. Point number 4. Do take the ADO bus if your accommodation is in the Cancun city center. The ADO bus is much affordable in comparison to the taxi or car rental. You can purchase these tickets online from their official websites, or they have kiosks right outside the airports. The ticket that they will print will have information on the time of travel, your seat number, and it does not cost much to buy an ADO ticket. The buses to the city center run every 30 minutes or so. On the ticket itself, you will have a departure gate where the buses will stop, along with the number. Because there are a couple of buses traveling at the same time, one going to the city center, maybe others going to Playa del Carmen or Tulum. So do pay attention to the number on your ticket. Point number 5. If you are arranging your transportation through your resort, make sure you have the contact information of the driver. I think it is ideal to carry an eSIM, which is much hassle-free than buying a new SIM in Mexico. Please remember to turn off your data from home so that you do not incur excessive billing from home network. So the way the eSIM work is you buy them online, they give you a code, you enter the code into SIM network and it automatically connects to a network in Mexico as soon as you land. I find it much affordable and really convenient. Now let's take a look at some don'ts. Number 1. Do not forget to carry a credit card. Credit card seems to be widely accepted in Cancun,
And most vendors would use this as a mode of payment with just some additional fee of about 3%. Also, credit card is the safest mode of payment when traveling internationally. Number 2, do not fall for the tourist traps right outside the airport. A number of people will approach you with their services, for example, taxis. However, they will hype up their prices at least 2 times or 3 times in comparison to the regular price. Sometimes they will provide you misinformation. For example, they might tell you that the transportation that you booked has cancelled their services for today, or that the car has a flat tire, or something like that. You do not want to fall for such traps. So the best thing to do is to not make an eye contact and keep walking. If they approach you, you can politely say no thank you or no gracias. Number 3, do not book the rental from the airport. They definitely have inflated the prices. Also, they will try their best to sell you some add-on features that you do not need. If you do need your rental vehicle, ask your accommodation if they can arrange one for you. They might find a better deal for you as well. Point number 4, do not share the information of your whereabouts with a stranger, nor should you tell them where your accommodation is. Just keep your privacy as much as possible and be cautious. Number 5, do not keep your medication in the checked-in baggage. This morning, an older person decided to volunteer to have his carry-on bag checked in, but forgot to transfer his medication into his personal bag. As a result of this, he was unwell throughout the flight and had no access to his medication. So just be careful and make sure all your medication and essential items are in your carry-on bag. Lastly, the e-gates are still a work in progress. There are 5 e-gates, but sometimes only 2 work. As a result of this, the immigration process can take quite a long time. There are separate lines for immigration for families, and currently the e-gates are only meant for adults who have a Canadian, US, or Mexican citizenship. You may be approached by an airport worker who might tell you that they have a way to get this immigration done real quick. For example, I was told that I could use the wheelchair and get this through this immigration line within 10 minutes, as long as I paid 65 Canadian dollars to this airport worker, which I denied. So just keep in mind that these scams do occur even at the airport, inside the airport. So just be vigilant and just be careful. Do not fall for such traps. Anyhow, Cancun is a beautiful city. Once I got to my hotel and freshened up, I went for a walk in the night markets of Cancun. It's a beautiful city with gorgeous beaches and a lively nightlife. So the reason I'm providing you these do's and don'ts so that you can be more prepared for your trip to Cancun. And if you would like more travel tips like these, subscribe to my YouTube channel, My Travel on a Dime, right now.